Welcome back to the Real Estate Rat Pack Radio Show with Chris, Joe, and Rob. The crew is taking your calls, so dial in at 1-800-808-5548.
And we are back.
Yes.
Having a good time as usual.
We are having a good time. You know, that in between the break thing is
we always start talking. It's like, okay, we're back.
And then you wonder how to segue into what you were talking about.
Yes.
You know what
Nobody knows what we were talking about for the last 3 minutes.
You know, we were talking about reviews, though. We were talking about the importance of reviews and how to bring review. You know, how the review system has sort of come along, and how it's still never going to replace. And this is one of the things my big soapbox always get on. It's never going to replace the human interaction, though, of what an individual can achieve by meeting somebody face to face. That's probably the biggest thing I would tell our listeners out there who utilize the internet for everything is a personal relationship is irreplaceable by technology.
Reviews open doors.
Yes.
Just you can get a phone call from people reading reviews, which I have received phone calls. Oh, I read about all these reviews and I'd like to meet with you. And so it's just a stepping stone to get us introduced to someone.
And again, the new consumer's in charge. They are, because of the internet, the consumer is in charge now.
Yes.
And so you have to address what their wants and needs are, which is why Zillow got to be so big so quickly, because consumers wanted, what's my house worth? Now, the estimates were,
20%.
Yeah, they were pretty. We're not disclosure. We're not a disclosure state, and HER does not send them sold data, so they have an algorithm fix that. But it was a starting point, and Kurt Beardsley, who was on last week from Zillow, talked about that. It's a starting point.
That is correct.
Right.
So
it's a
consumers want to know
conversational
everything
piece
before they get into the process, and I think it's especially true of your generation coming up.
Right.
That I want to know stuff before I'm in the process.
Exactly.
Generally speaking, more information's good. Generally speaking, but it can be overwhelming, and I think that's kind of where the industry is morphing into, and I guess you younger folk will see the youngins will see this a lot more.
I'm gonna beat you with my
is
cane.
that the consumer now has access to a lot more data, but that doesn't mean that they
It's
are.
the correct data
Yeah,
necessarily. It's definitely
Right.
our job to guide them.
Exactly. I was going to
help them
disseminate
understand
that,
what
to
the
break it
reality
down.
of things are, because when you're hearing things from HGTV or on Zillow or from Redfin or not utilizing HAR constantly, which I have a lot of relocation clients that come into town and their access is to different websites than HAR. We are so fortunate to have HAR and how fabulous it is. It's important to guide them and help them understand, rather than hearing from 7 different instruments and tools, what the expectation is, what our current market is like. Give them education that will actually help them in our process.
And our current market is not like $1 Million Homes Los Angeles. That's not the way things are done.
Right. Yeah, that's a fun show to
first
watch.
of all,
It's a great show to watch, though.
Reality shows aren't real. Let's be just
correct.
abundantly
Yeah,
clear
luxury
about that.
properties and sometimes
Come on.
it happens.
Remember when we had Madison on, came into town?
Yes, right.
And he talked about the show, and it's contrived, people.
It's
all
I-
contrived.
TV, the magic
I'm
of TV.
constantly at a loss, and this is such a Texan bubble kind of a statement. I realize this, but I'll watch those shows, and it's like this part-time school teacher and janitor at the school district, whatever, are buying a $900,000 house. Their budget for remodeling is only $200,000. I'm like, what? Are they selling crack on the side? I mean, what are they doing? How does that even work?
Inheritance or something that they don't talk about.
They'll be stepping into a 150-year mortgage.
Well,
I don't get it.
you laugh, but Japan has a 100-year mortgage.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
They have a 100-year mortgage.
99
Right?
years,
They
yeah.
just pass it along anyway. So, talking to Kat and Lacey both is that, and you can address this. You can get the information, but they can't get the experience.
Right.
They don't know how to apply the information, and that's the piece where I think a true professional, and we always advocate that people use professionals in everything, and especially in real estate. It's the biggest purchase most people make.
It is the single most expensive purchase one makes, so it's something that you have to really feel honored that someone would be willing to use you for this purchase.
It is-
and so
it
take
is
it very
an honor.
seriously. It is an honor.
And Kat, you're over there quietly in the corner. We don't come out of the corner.
I was just going to say, she's not quiet in the corner. She's texting away over here.
Hey, well, speaking of the new generation, this is actually in the new and the old generation. We are all very active on Facebook.
seasoned
We have
generation.
been the seasoned generation. situation. You're right.
Yes.
So
Perhaps
we are all active on
overseason.
Facebook. We've been posting a lot of stuff out there. One of the things, actually, I'll give you an example, is we've been posting our pictures, our selfies, etc. And Nancy
Our
actually,
ussies.
Nancy actually came back on Facebook and said, "Remind everyone in HAR it's time to sign up for committees." And
Oh, gosh,
in
he
where?
He just committed a
in
blasphemy.
HAR, that is correct. I put HAR. That
It is
correct.
not hard.
In
It is
HAR,
not hard.
it's time to
It's
sign
not
up for
hard.
committees. Hugs and kisses, by the way. And and so it's very, very much true. You have to get out there. But technology like this allows seamless information to flow back and forth, even to a live radio show.
Absolutely, and social media. There's the strength of social media.
And Christy
Borden. Real time.
And Christy Borden said, "Yes, get involved. HAR.com."
And Christy is a great volunteer, and
Yes.
I remember when she first started coming up, and she is just the consummate realtor. She was Realtor of the Year, and being involved, and I've been involved heavily for probably 15 plus years. It made me a better realtor.
Sure.
And the more you all were getting involved in this, they were doing selfies over here, or us.
Yes. Is there something else going on?
Yeah.
There is so much technology going on at this very moment. You can't
That's
understand. what
right.
happens
I only
in
show up
this
to the
room.
studio so I can get the mic in the picture.
It's a tool, Steve.
Yeah, it's a tool.
It's a staging tool, exactly.
But you're starting to understand the strength of being involved with the association and what it does for you, because there's a lot of people don't see a value proposition in it. They say, well, why you give up your time? You meet great people, and you get the knowledge, and exponentially your knowledge base will grow,
Right.
something like that, and that's the value, absolute value. So you're 20 under 40. Let's talk a little bit about that. Tell me what it takes to be 20 under 40.
Well, there were a panel of 6 people, I believe.
Do you have to be under 40 to begin with?
You do.
Okay,
you have
gotcha.
to be under 40.
Missed it by that much. Our producer just cracked up. I was like, if I can get her to snort, I figured I've had a good day.
During once, right?
Yes.
And it was the highest number of applicants this year, which is really exciting, a big honor. And they look at different aspects, not only just volume, but leadership and community involvement, which it is so important to be involved in your community when you are representing.
You're part of the community.
You are part of a community. You're helping build communities, right? So, or guide people to new communities.
This would be a great segue into the Yellowstone legacy thing that the new TRLP. Now we did a deal the other night on Yellowstone, and it's really great to see when the TRLP is a Texas Real Estate Leadership Program.
Right.
It's through Texas Association of Realtors, and I'm starting to see that every time we do things now, we revolve it around a cause. Mm-hmm. And I just embrace that, because we kind of do the same thing. We do Sunshine Kids, and of course,
I love Sunshine Kids.
what was the one that the heart one that you support?
It's My Heart.
It's My Heart.
Right. And then obviously we work a lot with Texas Children's and everything.
And Joe has started taking his networking things and revolving around.
Nancy Owens Memorial Foundation.
This week was Nancy
Yes.
Owens, and so talk a little bit about your involvement and the things that you have passion about.
Well, we have an annual Christmas party every year, and we always have Toys for Tots donations with all the clients that come. And we have submitted 3 huge garbage bags. I mean, we've made a Santa bag, but it's just not enough. Toys and things. We've had fundraisers to give back to Camp Journey, which is a camp for autistic children or mentally challenged children, so they get to experience fun times for a week at a time. And we raised enough to send 4 children to camp for free, which was this was just in our backyard at my home.
Wow.
We had a shaved ice machine. We had a friend who
You get margaritas, we'll show up.
well, someone brought watermelon pucker. It was really good in the shaved ice, but it was great. I mean, I try to do as much like Sunshine Kids. I've definitely contributed to. A good friend of mine is Han Tran, who's an artist.
Yes.
Who helps a lot with that. And I know I'm missing things. We filled out in our applications and we submitted everything, but I didn't glance at it. It's fun to give.
I'm turning my direction over here to Kat, who's in the corner.
Nobody puts Cat in the corner.
Talk
That
about,
joke never gets old.
Yeah. Talk about the things that you have passion about and that you're involved in.
Oh, well, I'm involved in the leadership program this year, and our legacy project is the Yellowstone Academy, which is a phenomenal organization.
They somehow know that they got $200 from me already. Just I don't know how they did that.
Hey, we're kind of sneaky like that, but it's definitely worth every penny. This school actually focuses on the impoverished in the Third Ward. So most of these kids come from homes that make less than $10,000 a year. So it's hard to imagine to take care of rent and a car on that, let alone multiple children and clothes and food. So we're raising money for food, for meals, and they serve the kids breakfast, lunch, and a snack. So so it's really helping out the school, and we got a little two-piece. So it's great.
It's the peace sign, by the way, is all it is. Yes, peace,
like
peace
it.
out.
Also, the Art League of Houston is a phenomenal organization that I help out with, and they really give back to the community in Montrose. I really like that place.
It's just surprising that when you give, you seem to get back so much more than you put.
Absolutely. One of the things that we've taken on here at the Rat Pack is a very strong commitment to raising money through different charitable organizations. We obviously have items that we've done through the Nancy Owens Memorial Foundation. Mm-hmm. We've done Sunshine Kids last year, and we're going to continue on this year again. We've done a lot of stuff for DePelchin's Children's Center out in Richmond, Rosenberg area.
Right.
So it's one of those things I tell everybody is the more you give back, the greater you get back. And when I say get back is, man, when we were able to go and see those children's faces last year,
it was awesome.
It was absolutely
and these weren't
something
kids.
else.
These kids were not orphans.
Yes.
It was an orphanage. It's these people who were children that were taken out of homes in dangerous situations.
Abusive homes.
CPS has removed them.
Yes.
And that's why we couldn't take pictures with them.
That is correct.
We couldn't have pictures taken with them. But
the
were
memories
so
will last a lifetime.
They were so excited. We got them 2 big screen TVs
and PlayStations and games and toys
It was
and all they recently wanted was betting.
Exactly.
And we had our alumni from this show stepped up, and in 1 week, or actually over a 4-day period, we raised $5,000 to go able to do all that.
It was one of those settings where, that was this one kid, I remember he was in his room, and after we'd set up all the beds and comforters and everything, and he was just laying in his bed, and all the kids were out playing with their remote control cars and stuff, and we're like, hey, come on out, and he's like, no, I just want to lay here a little while.
Oh, he was just soking it in, wasn't he?
Yeah,
oh,
it was.
touching.
Yeah, it was emotional for me. I got 2 little kids, and
it puts it in perspective.
It definitely puts it in perspective.
And we had
it was
Natasha
one of those.
Livingston with us also, who was our One Guard sponsor, and she was there, and she was just blown away by that.
It was one of those settings where you can't leave with that not having impacted you. You want to do something.
Speaking of impact again, guess what we're up against, everybody?
A break.
Our last break. So we're going to take a break right now, but stay tuned. We'll be right back.